Such a good little intro song that Cole found for us tonight. Welcome back, everyone, to Hoist the Colors. This is the fourth and final episode. We're going to be covering the AFC South and the AFC North tonight. So we'll be getting into those. This is your Vice President, Ryan Cram, and I'm here with, obviously, the one and only commish, Cole Blake. How's it going tonight, Cole?
Doing all right. I think we got the AFC South and West, though. You got the North confused from last week. But it's all right. This is all-season pod. You're trying to introduce, you're trying to get the juices flowing, but but you fumbled the bag on that one. We're gonna try and work on that. But again, off-season pod.
What the hell's going on out here?
It's not a big deal.
We got a lot of divisions to break down. They're all starting to mend together at this point. So close.
We finally got it done. 36. Congratulations to you for helping me on the POEP, the Pursuit of Excellence packet that we are selling now for a measly $1.38 per pack. It's 36 pages long, and it'll get you ready for your fantasy playoffs. I mean, that's what you'll be thinking about.
I'm pretty sure you need to. We're running out. Stock's getting low. We're this price and this bundle. We've sold a lot so far. So if you guys want this, you need to get on it now. Okay, this won't be here on draft night.
Oh yeah, dude.
Comes come.
At the end of the day, let's get into Hoist those colors.
All hands, hoist the colors high.
They're going to have to do a bunch of heave-hoeing down in Houston because the Texans, they got a little rough right now. Head coach DeMeco Ryans, he's a defensive-minded guy, third year. His offensive coordinator is new this year, Nick Caley. Rams passing game coordinator, first time calling plays. The players seem to like him, but in the offseason, they traded away Jeremy Tunsil to Washington for 3 picks. It was a cap issue, but brutal to lose that talent on the left side. Mediocre free agent and draft a lineman. 32nd ranked in 2025 PFF, which doesn't bode well for their new addition, Nick Chubb, 1 year, $2.5 million. And, really at the end of the day, they had a tough time moving the ball because of that line last year. And this year, Joe Mixon is a little banged up in the offseason. I had him last year. He was a running back 1 to week 10, and he has an ankle injury. And Cram, I don't know if you know this, but he's injured this specific ankle multiple times, 5 times on his right ankle. Including last year that sent him out. But there's a bunch of weird talk right now in camp about there's no change and he's just dealing with it. It sounds a little Christian McCaffrey calf from last year type vibe going on in camp. Last year he had 245 attempts, 1,000 yards, 12 TDs. It just doesn't look good. I think Stroud and Nico can probably do their thing, but besides that, I am pretty much out on this squad. I don't think they have what it takes, and I think Ryans is out after this year. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I know, like we just said, Mixon, get back to his little foot ankle. I have been seeing him on a lot of kind of do not drafts list, and I was kind of honestly wondering what the deal was, so I didn't realize it was the same.
It's the same
right ankle all those other times. So I'm starting to see kind of why I've been consistently on these do not draft boards. CJ Stroud, like you said, that rookie slump or that second year slump, the sophomore slump really hit him hard last year. So I think this is a kind of, like you said, a make or break year for them. He's going to need to definitely step it up over last year, or there might be some moves made there. And then Nick Chubb, that guy, they say he's healthy. Everything I'm reading says they expect him to play in week 1. After that gruesome knee injury we saw back in 2023, that no one's going to forget that one.
The nigga broke his fucking leg.
He broke his leg, yeah, and about every ligament and part of his knee as possible. So I am curious to see if he's going to, how he's going to look. Everyone says he's looking good, but we'll have to see on that. Definitely something that we're going to have to pay attention to. But, yeah, I'm pretty much out on most Texans besides Nico Collins for sure.
Well, yeah, moving on to Jacksonville, man. I'm interested to see what you think.
Yeah, so Jacksonville, we'll get into the head coach. It's going to be his first year. Liam Cohen, he was the Bucs OC. He's a UMass guy. So right there, maybe he has a little something going for him. He runs a committee run game, so I don't think we're going to see any, overall number one back. I think obviously you'll have Etienne and Bigsby, but he's a pretty committee run guy, high tempo, likes to run a lot of motion. So this offseason, they beefed up the O-line. They got some mid-tier tackles there. They traded up in the draft. Everyone knows where they took Travis Hunter. They also took Baishul Tutin, who's a fourth-round running back. Tutin. So they definitely tried to beef up a little bit of their O-line to give Lawrence some more protection, give him a little more time to get the ball out of his hands, and maybe get those running backs going a little more. I think the big question for those guys this year is Travis Hunter. What is his ceiling going to be? How are they going to use him? He's a Heisman player, he's a two-way player, obviously, wide receiver and cornerback. So I'm curious to see if they're even going to let him play both sides, if he's going to play, where he's going to play more. So in college, he had 96 receptions last year, 1,200 yards, 14 TDs. He's definitely, he's got good hands, definitely someone who I think could make the transition to the NFL pretty easily, depending how they want to use him. But it's definitely something I think you need to worry about if you're drafting him. If he's going to be playing both sides of the ball, is he going to be sitting out more on offense? Is he going to be playing more defense? I don't think we really know. They're kind of keeping tight lips on how they're going to use him so far. So that's a little scary for drafting him. But if you look at the tape with him, he's got big playability, best hands in the class for sure, Heisman winner. He's not a super tactical route runner, but he's going to have to be put in that position, and he's definitely going to come in as a good end zone target for them right off the bat. They also, Brian Thomas Jr., he had a great year last year, 87 receptions on 100. What?
I picked him up off the wire.
That was a good pickup. Yeah, he definitely had a great end of the year, great year in general. 1,282 yards, 10 touchdowns. Definitely started balling out. Then there's obviously Trevor Lawrence, who he struggled a little bit last year. I think it's time for him to shut up and get to work.
Gotta wake up, bitch, get up. Get up.
That was a good one for that.
It was. Yeah, it's time.
He's got to wake the fuck up down there.
Yeah, it's his fifth year. He's on a $275 million contract. 2024 was his worst year by far. He only played 10 games, had a 60% completion percentage. He only threw for 2,000 yards, 11 TDs, and had 7 interceptions. When he started last year, they went 2-8. So we got to see how Cohen is going to utilize this offense, and it's definitely going to be an interesting season for them, I think. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks out there. Brian Thomas Jr. is not one of them. He's like the only one who's going to hold everyone else accountable. Travis Hunter, it's so up in the air what if he starts playing more defense, and they're going to have to put him on the offensive side of the ball, but it just seems a little crazy. Obviously, they drafted him second overall. They're going to just use him everywhere they possibly can, and I think he can. His ceiling might be, not 800, 907, but nothing like what. Don't expect Brian Thomas Jr. numbers from last year. I mean, that would be insane because he's already there. So he's going to demand the ball. But Trevor Lawrence, I believed in him last year, a little bit the year before. Like, he's one of those guys where you try every year to be like, he's got everything you need, and he just sucks. So I'm pretty much out on most of this situation. I do love me some Brian Thomas, but besides that.
How do you feel about Tank Bigsby? He's the running back 2. Do you see him getting more carries this year, maybe transitioning to that number 1 back role?
Yeah, I wasn't involved in that shit last year, the whole mess when ETN was like the second round guy that dropped down into nothingness. So I didn't either get Tank Bigsby. So I know that it's just a mosh posh down there, and then now they have a new coach, he came from the Bucks, and the Bucks had kind of a hodgepodge too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, White and Irving.
I'd rather take a shot on a guy in that range because it's not no one's going high in that class, but I'd rather take a shot on a guy that can like guarantee, okay, if someone gets injured or if he plays the right way, he'll get number one opportunity. But yeah, I'm kind of out on that shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, I do like Brian Thomas for sure, but not really sure who else. Like you said, I would want on that team. Let's move on to the Colts. What do you got for us, Cole?
Colts, Shane Steichen, third year, 17-17 exactly. Eagles offensive coordinator. They thought they had the next Hurts with Richardson apparently, but they signed Daniel Jones to a 1 year, $14 million, and they fixed their secondary in the offseason. They also drafted Tyler Warren in the first round. The biggest question I got is Jonathan Taylor. Is he still a top tier running back? 303 attempts last year, 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. Only 18 receptions, so you just got to remember that he's super capped on receiving work. But the last 5 games of last year, over 100 yards each game, and then the last 3 games, 5 TDs and 500 yards combined. It's pretty fucking ideal. Their O-line got a little bit stronger, nothing crazy. They're middle of the pack, but Daniel Jones got named the starter recently. Obviously, he's not. I don't expect him to be a savior over there, but it definitely kind of bumps my grades of everybody up a little bit. I just had no interest in Richardson since he stepped off the boat, and I'm super out on that guy in general. So if Daniel Jones can use his legs a little bit and move the ball, move the chains, that can get Jonathan Taylor going. That can get Tyler Warren going. That can get Pittman, Josh Downs. You can see some real opportunity on this team. It's all about Daniel Jones at this point, and that sucks. That's a bummer for this whole franchise.
Yeah, that sound right there is how I feel about the Colts this year. I think any team that has Daniel Jones starting for them is going to be a non-playoff team, and they're going to be no good things coming from a team that he's starting. I think that kills Pittman's ceiling a little bit for people who want to take him, middle of the draft. I think the only guy that is really worth taking a chance on is Jonathan Taylor, obviously, because he's going to get carries. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about the Colts in general besides leaving Daniels as a starter, Richardson backing up. I don't know if that's going to last the whole season. I feel like you'll see Richardson back starting midway through the season.
Ugh, that's fucking ugly. That is ugly. Let's get. I'm actually super pepped up and pumped about these Tennessee Titans, to be honest. So, give it to me right here.
Yeah, Titans. I think there's a lot of excitement down in Tennessee going into this year, probably more than the last few years. Brian Callahan coming back for his second year. Seems like the team had a good vibe with him last year. Definitely quarterback play by Levis was, it's hard to come back when your quarterback is bottom of the barrel. But this offseason, they beefed up the O-line. They signed Zeitler, and they also got Steelers left tackle Moore. So hopefully that will give their number 1 draft pick, Cam Ward, some more time in the pocket. Cam Ward, I guess, big question, is he the real deal? I mean, I think he has looked good. I think he looked good in the preseason games he played in.
Yeah.
He's a 6'2", 219-pound quarterback. Miami senior year in 2024, played 13 games. He had 303 completions, 67% completion rate, threw for 4,300 yards, 39 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. He played for Washington State the 2 years before that and had decent numbers. But yeah, I think there's also potential there for some rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
in the
like
tape
that.
we have. Yeah, and if you look at Cam Ward's tape, he's definitely trademarked being casual in the pocket, has all the arm strength you need. He's not afraid to fit in spots, but that could lead to some high turnovers. He's not afraid to throw it in small windows, which could lead to some picks. He's got good touch with those mid-level balls, and I think he's going to start targeting Ridley. I think Ridley's going to have a lot higher ceiling this year because of it. So
I could
that's
see that too.
definitely something for. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the way the kid plays, and his interviews are pretty on point. He seems like he's taking the torch, kind of captain vibes. And then I like Brian Callahan from last year. He came from like a fucking classic hardcore football family, and super into O-line. I think that O-line is going to be better. I think their running game is going to be pretty decent with Pollard. I definitely see him as like, if you just somehow get into your draft and you're like, fuck, man, there's no running backs left, I think Pollard's a pretty safe, low ceiling, high floor play, running back 2-ish. But Cam Ward, is he valuable in fantasy? I don't know. Maybe that'd be, if you think Cam Ward's going to actually be valuable, then you should put a future on him to be offensive player of the year, because I guess that would be his potential, is to just come out guns blazing like those rookie quarterbacks sometimes do. So I'm kind of peppering him in some leagues, in some mocks at the very end, just kind of like if I have like Dak Prescott or something. But Ridley, I do like. He seems to be on a first name basis with him. And then super deep late Okonkwo, their tight end, they're talking about releasing him into the passing game finally, because he's super athletic, but that has yet to be determined. But yeah, I don't know. I like this team. I like this team to beat out the Colts, beat out the Jags, and beat out the Texans. I think they're gonna take the division as a rookie.
Take right there.
How about that?
All right,
It's all
gonna
for 'em.
win the division. I honestly, looking at that division, I'm trying to think.
If they could do it, winning 9 games.
I know, and if the Texans can't kind of step it up a little bit, I know they still made the playoffs last year, but I don't know. I feel like of this division, Jacksonville, if Trevor Lawrence can't get his shit together, is not going to challenge them. The Colts are not challenging anyone this year, so
Right.
Titans would be the one to challenge Houston this year for sure.
Yeah, there's always those teams in the NFL where it's like fucking Washington last year, like whoa, I kind of want a piece of this team, and I think that might be the Titans this year, but who knows? We shall see. Oh, B Holmes, Venmo for the league dues? Question mark.
Ooh, that's good. In between
Yeah.
divisions, we're in between divisions now. That's a good. You can tell him to send it to me. B Holmes is the only one who hasn't paid, along with Plow. So everyone else, great fucking year. You guys all paid before September. That is unheard of. Even Radcliffe gave me the last penny. He always sends the entry fee with 99 cents, and he even sent me the last penny. So he's in. So yeah,
Fucking Radcliffe, dude.
What's your problem?
What's your problem, Radcliffe?
he does it every fucking year. I can literally go back in our messages every year. He does the same thing. I'm like, it's getting old, dude. Do something new at least.
All right. Well, what you got? You got another division for us here, the West, and I've actually been fucking chomping at the bit to hear some of these takes. So, do you want to start off on the Broncos, or would you rather get me in there?
You go ahead. You go in there, and I'll hit with the Chiefs after. I got some things about them I want to say.
Okay. All right. We got the Denver Broncos, the number 2 rated offensive line in the league. Head coach Sean Payton, 3rd season, 18-16 overall. Kind of mediocre. He's the play caller, obviously. Pass-heavy offense with Bo Nix, 66% pass. Points per game, 10th in the NFL. It's pretty damn good. So Payton still got it. Total yards per game, 19th, right in the middle there. So 2024, the Broncos were top 10 scoring offense, but only middle of the pack in yardage. Vance Joseph, that baller defensive coordinator, top 5 defense in 2024. Their defense is still sick, which would make that offense lean a little bit towards the run. And they have a sick offensive line, so the running back room over there is going to be interesting. They lost Devontae Williams to free agency. He went to Dallas. He was washed anyway, but they did sign Evan Ingram to a 2-year, $23 million deal. There's been reports of him playing the Joker role. Sean Payton saying that he's going to just run routes. That's super fucking hop train. But anyway, the draft. In the first round, they picked Jaheim Barron, cornerback from Texas, versatile playmaking corner. So they shored up that. They didn't even have to shore it up. They just fucking went for it. Another cornerback, and then the second round, R.J. Harvey. Looked at his tape. He's a compact, dynamic runner with strong, explosive traits. So he's super quick, small guy. He's kind of like, I think they're trying to copy Devon Achane with this guy. Questions. Can Bo Nix improve on his impressive rookie season? I was personally super impressed with him. 29 passing touchdowns, second most by a rookie in NFL history. 3,775 yards. I think that beats the Bears all time. All the time. I think it might be 100 short, but their 66.3 completion percentage is sick. 430 rushing yards. That's the big one. 430 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. That can only go up, I think, this year. QB 8 in fantasy. So you got to snag him in the 7th, but I like that potential. The defense performances hinge on the health of the secondary specifically and their linebackers. So I don't know. It's I think that defense is pretty stacked up, but the backfield is what I'm more interested in. They got J.K. Dobbins in the offseason too. And they just it's tantalizing to take those rookies, but man, he is going to be splitting the work apparently, and he's not all that great at getting the pass protection down. So JK is going in there. He's like got one leg at this point. He's so fucking banged up. But I want to believe in RJ. I didn't like his tape personally. I think he was just like on like one of those Pac-12 teams and would just kind of like run in open space because he's so fast. He didn't really have like the vision that I was looking for. So I hate to be out on a guy with so much opportunity in front of him. And I don't want to be in on JK because of the injury risk, so I'm kind of stuck in the middle there. But someone's gonna pump some fantasy gold out of that. And then the only thing is Cortland Sutton. How high of a pick? 2022, 64 receptions, 802 TDs. 2023, 59 receptions, dipped 700, but 10 TDs. And then 2024 with Bo Nix, 81 receptions, 1,000 yards, 8 TDs. He definitely was his safety blanket, and the rest of that team looks pretty rough. So I'd say pick him in the 5th, pick him in the 6th. He's a stable guy. If you have a high volatile wide receiver 1, he could solidify that position for you. So what do you think there, bud? Are you in on this backfield? That's the biggest question to me.
Is what?
Whether you're in on this backfield. I mean, you kind of have to be.
There's no one in this backfield I would want. Like I said, I don't know enough about R.J. Harvey, to be honest, like with his tape, and J.K. Dobbins screwed me when he was on the Chargers, so not really high on them. Cortland Sutton, he was on my team last year. He had a great year under Bo Nix, so I think he was the wide receiver 15 in fantasy last year, which is pretty good with that. Definitely got some. I think he has potential for more touchdowns. He only had 8 last year. I think a lot of them went to Mims and who's that other guy? They're all super fast. What was his?
I can't remember.
Yeah, either way though. So I'm hoping he can get some more TDs. He seems to be Bo Nix's number 1 target in the end zone, so that's good for his high ceiling. I think he's only going to progress again this year. So I definitely think him in the 5th or 6th round will be worth it. Bo Nix, I think, is going to continue having a great year. It always helps, too, like you said, when you can run the ball, when you're up with big leads because you're putting points up and your defense is holding the other team. So I do see the Broncos making a push this year in the division. I think they will give the Chiefs some trouble, and I hope they give the Chiefs.
Whoa.
Who do you think you are? I am.
They're going to come at it. All right, let's get into those Chiefs.
Yeah, so that's we'll get right into the Chiefs. So everyone knows Andy Reid, head coach. He's got 130-6,
Holy
50 regular season record. Since he came into the league, or not into the league, but since he started, he's been the head coach in Kansas City since 2013. So he's going on his 12th season there. He is the main play caller. They run a pretty balanced attack, a little more pass heavy. And this offseason, they added Elijah Mitchell. They got Joe Tooney. They traded to the Bears, so a little loss on defense. And they just, I think we all just saw this week, Sky Moore's going to the 49ers. And McCole Hardman, they lost in free agency. They had last pick of the first round in the draft. They got Josh Simmons, an offensive tackle, the guy from Ohio State. I think he's going to fit in well, give Mahomes a little more protection. They definitely could use a little more bolstered on that offensive line. But big question going into the year is Rashee Rice. So how will this wide receiver core be? Is he going to be suspended? I think that's the big question right now. He is cleared to play week 1, but his disciplinary hearing isn't till September 30th. So that means he could play the first 4 games and then be suspended. So drafting him, you need to have that in your mind. He might not be around the whole season. He may have 4 weeks in him and then may get 4 weeks suspension, but his date is September 30th to find out. So I think that's going to put him a couple rounds further back than it normally would. But if someone's taking a chance that he's not going to get suspended or that, maybe that's, a steal that you can get a little later than you normally would. I don't know. Xavier Worthy, definitely some glimmers of, I thought he plays pretty well. He's fast. He's quick. He runs sometimes, but definitely a fantasy-worthy receiver in my mind. And then Hollywood Brown, I think we'll have to see how he does under this offense.
Yeah,
Mahomes,
he's a little dinged up right now, I think.
What?
I think Hollywood's a little dinged up, and I love Rashee Rice. I was so into him last year going into the season. I didn't end up drafting him, and then he got hurt, but he killed it at the beginning of the year. I fucking love this guy, and I want to draft him everywhere, but it's looking like a 4 to 6 game suspension. I just know that I'm gonna want him, and I don't know how I'm gonna get him on the team. I can't justify taking him in the 4th round knowing he's gonna take some games. So, it's a tough one. Anyway,
especially being suspended, like you said, middle of the season. Like if anything, like Kamara when he was suspended 4 games, at least get him out of the way. Like you can come back from being 1 and 3.
Right.
But if you're fighting for your life and he's out from weeks 5 to 11.
And not only that, as a human level, he has to look at this in front of him too. He can't prepare like, all right, I'm gonna be suspended for a few games, and then I'm gonna play. So week 1 I'll do this, week 2 I'll do that, and he could plan it out. Whereas now he's sitting there going, am I gonna get suspended? Is it 4? Is it gonna get pushed? Who the fuck knows? Which you can't expect him to just absolutely kill it for the first 4 weeks. Knowing that as a human being, he's probably losing sleep over this every fucking night. Because he's going to lose game checks. He's going to lose a lot.
Yeah, and just not knowing, like, he doesn't know what's going to happen. It's got to grind on you a little bit. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, I had him on my team last year. He ended up being the QB 11 in fantasy last year, which surprised me. When I was looking up that year, I did not expect him to be 11. I thought he'd be more back because I had him on my team, and I feel like every week he sucked. He's definitely in the last 3 years, his numbers are declining every year. 2022, he had 5,200 pass yards, 41 touchdowns. 2023, he took a big step back, only 4,100 yards and only 27 touchdowns. Last year in 24 was pretty similar to that, but still went down. Only 3,900 yards and 26 TDs. So he is progressively, if you look at his stats, each year getting a little bit less and less in yardage, and I definitely think people are starting to kind of figure out his game. But obviously, he's a great quarterback. There's no sugarcoating that. As much as I hate the guy, but I do feel like he has regressed a tiny bit. But he's always surrounded with a good team, good defense, good coach. So you don't need to be the best guy in the field when you're surrounded by good talent and good coaching. And then Kelsey, another guy I had last year that I wish I didn't, because he as well, I feel like is getting older and slower every year. I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to be his last season. Numbers are definitely regressing a little bit the last couple of years. Only 823 yards on 97 catches last year and 3 touchdowns. That's it. 3 touchdowns for your giant tight end. That is fucking ridiculous. And he was on my team, of course. So, yeah. Compared to 12 touchdowns in 2022 with 1,400, almost 1,400 yards. And 2023, he wasn't any better. 985 yards, only 5 touchdowns. So he's regressing every year. Which is a big question in fantasy. Like, I don't think he's worth that role. They have what do they have? 3 tight ends that are always like Noah Gray, and they have him, and there's one other guy I can't remember, but I feel like they spread the ball around to those tight ends now. Before, when Kelsey was the guy, there's not just the one guy anymore. What do you think about these guys?
Yeah, they don't even seem to really need him at this point. Their defense is so fucking good. They don't throw like they used to. Those 41 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. They needed those numbers. They needed to prove it. They also, I think about this often, they've played more games than anyone else in the last, 5-6 years. They just keep going deep into the playoffs, if not the Super Bowl, which adds game after game after game. Your season's longer and longer. You have a shorter off season. Like, is this just burnout that we're seeing? And last year you could see it in the Super Bowl. They were just done. They couldn't motivate themselves to get up off the fucking pitch, and just got mollywopped. So are they gonna have a little fire in their belly? I'm trying to think of like if there's a way for Mahomes to kind of turn his numbers around, which would definitely help everyone else. But I think they're just gonna lean on the run and lean on Pacheco and defense, and let Mahomes work the field, work the clock, piss everybody off. It's a little dink and dunks. Call it a day.
It's the way she goes.
It's the way she fucking goes, Bubs.
So sometimes she goes, sometimes she doesn't go. It's the way she goes.
Let's see what's going down in Nevada.
Hi, do you want to masturbate but don't have a partner?
You gotta go to Las Vegas. All right, head coach Pete Carroll. He's the new coach in there. He's Chip Kelly, offensive coordinator. Play call hasn't been confirmed. Chip Kelly is a UNH guy, if anyone forgot.
Yes, he is.
And he plays pretty fast, so loves his quick backs. Oh man, what was it? Sean McCaffrey or Sean? Who was that Eagles guy that was super shifty? Shifty McCoy. Yeah, Sean McCoy, dude, fucking loved him. Off season acquired Geno Smith from Seattle for a third pick. So they got Geno in there. He's a steady Eddie kind of guy, but they also got Raheem Mostert and a lot of defensive ads. In the first round, Ashton Genty, fucking bruiser, 5'8", tiny little boy, muscle hamster type of vibe, 208 pounds. Will he dominate as he did in college? 2024, 2,600 and a yard, 29 touchdowns. Holy cow.
Insane.
I thought about taking him at 7. His tape is beautiful. He's like bouncing off guys. It's truly incredible. I have since cooled a little bit, thinking that, it was that first preseason game where he got -3 yards. I was like, oof, this, like, no matter how good you are, if your O-line is that bad, then you're going to have a tough time all year, especially against these other teams that are really good in your division. And it scared me back a little bit. Not crazy. I mean, you can have the worst O-line in the world. If you actually commit to a guy like they have to with this draft capital to Ashton Genty, then they're going to fucking throw him 320 attempts this year. So I think he will. Go ahead.
I think after that first preseason game, everyone was kind of talking shit on him a little bit, but the next game he kind of had some of those explosive runs too, so it kind of, I think, eased some people's minds a little bit. But that first game was definitely not what people are expecting.
Yeah.
But the second game, I think he showed glimpses. So
yeah, I just don't want to take him in the first round. I don't want to be that fucking guy. I'd rather be wrong on him and wrong than wrong on somebody else right now.
Where's he mocking right now?
He's mocking right around 8, 9, 10.
Okay, yeah.
Especially with the Miami running back Achan lingering with with an issue. So people are running back hungry, and he is up there. So I guarantee you he's gonna go in the first 15 picks or something. But I think that he is worth that. Can Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly revitalize this offense? They definitely had Brock Bowers last year, and he was Beal's ticket to the fucking ship, but he's gonna still dominate even with that hairline. And Geno is just gonna fucking pepper him. Jacoby Myers is also on the team. He's not a wide receiver 1 in fantasy, but he can certainly be a flex play on certain occasions. I think Geno's he's decent. 2024, he played some good ball. So I'm hopeful of this team, but again, just with the solidification, you could say, of Pete Carroll kind of coming in with his vibe check. I think that they're gonna surprise some people. I think they're gonna win some games they're not supposed to, even if they're ugly, even if no one really is super impactful in the fantasy world. I think they're gonna surprise a couple.
Yeah, definitely a team I've been looking at, knowing that Patriots open their season against them. So we're going to be the first test for our side and for their side. So I think it's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a good game, yeah.
Yeah, and I look at Geno Smith, like I'm always like, kind of down on him, like how good is everyone going to be around him? But if you look at like JSM last year and Metcalf, like those guys got solid yardage, solid games. Like he was a different, not the old Geno Smith that we were kind of used to. I feel like he definitely, those guys had good years. So that's making me a little more high on some receivers if I need to get them later in the rounds. Like I think they do have the potential to produce. They just in their second round they drafted Jack Beck out of TCU. So I'm interested to see how he's going to be. I didn't really watch much preseason of them. And Bowers, I think, is a good question. Yeah, is he going to be able to have those? What was last year? I think he had like 112 receptions, almost 1,200 yards, 5 TDs. NFL record for most receptions and most yards by a rookie tight end in NFL history.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how he can, with Geno, is that going to be the exact same? I've heard a lot of people kind of not thinking he's going to have as good a year as he did, but he's going to go in the second round. So whoever's taking him is betting that it's going to be about the same.
That's scary. I can't take Brock in the second. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure trending end of the second round, if I'm not mistaken.
You know who I might take in the second round, though, is your fucking boy, Lad McConkey.
Hey, Lad McConkey.
Your boy. You love him so much. Tell me about these Chargers.
All right. Well, Chargers head coach. Still got Jim Harbaugh. He's back for his second year. 11-6 last year. So they look good. Went into the playoffs where they lost in the NFC wildcard game, though, to Houston in a blowout, 32-12. The offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, is the one who plays calls for those guys. So
he runs a
we'll
shit ton.
see how they do this year. Yeah, they do run a lot. Which this offseason they did sign Najee Harris from the Steelers. He did just on a 1-year, $9.25 million deal. They re-signed Keenan Allen. So Keenan Allen is
Mama, I'm coming home.
he's coming home. He's coming back to the Chargers.
Nice.
After his little stint with the Bears. So he just signed a 1-year, $8.25 million deal to come back. They did lose Joey Bosa, free agency, and Mike Williams retired. So a couple key subtractions there. The draft.
And also Najee Harris, his subtraction, he lost an eye.
Did he really?
He got in a firework accident. You didn't hear all that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I botched that one. Oh, that's a botched job.
Yeah, he hasn't been practicing since July 4th. I don't know if it's 100%. They're being really weird about it, but Najee Harris has an eye injury, and it might be causing him to lose playing time at this point. So
well, that'll bring us right into. I did not know. That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not too worried about that because round 1 of the draft, 22nd overall, they took Omarion Hampton, running back from North Carolina. This dude, he looks good. He's a dynamic running back. He's powerful. He's got a powerful style, and he has a good ability to break tackles. Kind of reminds me of a little Derrick Henry type, obviously not as big, but he is 6 feet, 220.
He's a big boy.
He's fast. Yeah, he's a big boy. He ran a 4.46 40-yard dash. He has a 38-inch vertical. The broad jump, he can jump 10 feet, 10 inches with his hand. He's just going to be, I think, the clear number 1 back there real quick. If he falls, I don't know where he's mocking right now, but if he's around, I would say
4th or 5th.
Yeah, which I think, I think that's a good, if you can get him in that spot, especially with this whole Najee Harris firework eye injury thing.
Yeah, dude.
That might be something to look at, but I think he's gonna be maybe a sleeper pick who could have a good rookie year. They also got Trey Harris, wide receiver from Ole Miss, in the second round of the draft, so he's gonna fall in behind Keenan Allen and McConkey and be that kind of wide receiver 3 on the team, I think.
Yeah,
I
like his tape.
Trey Harris.
Yeah, I saw his tape just looking at the Ole Miss tape, and he's definitely interesting. He's definitely interesting. I love Omar in Hampton. I didn't really like his preseason tape, but Trey Harris just looks fucking good, man. I might take him in the last pick of the draft.
There we go. There we go. Someone get him before Cole does. He's giving you his secrets right now. Questions. Justin Herbert, can he elevate his play in clutch moments? Despite impressive statistics, especially last year, he looks good all regular season. He seemed to struggle in high-pressure situations. In one-score games, his performance has been subpar, and he has a significant drop in passer rating in those situations compared to most other quarterbacks. His stats, 2023, 3,100 yards, 20 TDs, 7 picks. Last year in 24, 3,800 yards, 23 TDs, only 3 interceptions. I don't think he threw an interception until late in the season. I remember that we were all kind of watching that.
Yep.
And he was the QB 14 overall in fantasy. So middle of the pack. I think he has the potential if he gets, going. But yeah, the no interceptions. He definitely was protected with the ball last year. Didn't make dumb throws, and definitely upped his stats. So definitely someone I could see, as good fantasy implications. So we'll see how 25 goes. Back to kind of what you were talking about, the backfield. Will Najee Harris be ready for the season? Is Hampton going to be the RB1? We'll have to wait and see on that. And then, Lad McConkey. He had another big year after an impressive rookie season, Kenny. I mean, we'll see. 2024, he had 82 receptions, 1,149 yards, and 7 TDs. He's kind of solidified his role as a team's top target, I'd say. So I'm interested to see if him and Herbert, the chemistry will keep improving on last year, and if he'll kind of even impress from that. Should be interesting. They definitely have the ability to also challenge the Chiefs, I'd say. I think it's a tough division. This division used to kind of be the laughing stock, other than obviously the Chiefs would just kill everyone. But I think you're going to see the AFC West be a close division this year. I don't think you're going to see many blowouts in those divisional games. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers and Broncos each split the season with the Chiefs going 1-1.
Ooh, I'd
Raiders
love to
all
see that.
Chiefs hard. I wouldn't be surprised if they all go 1-1 against the Chiefs this year and split their season series. It's going to be a tough division, tougher than it's been in the past. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be a little bit more competition, and I also think the dip for the almighty, for the fucking Chiefs is bound here. Hopefully. I mean, everyone's been hoping for it. Who the fuck knows? There's a lot of moving parts. I think the Broncos have the biggest opportunity. Sean Payton's he's fucking hungry, man. It looks like he is drooling for another one. So they might be the team to knock off. And then if the Raiders and the Chargers can kind of nip at the heels and maybe make a wild card, I know that Jim Harbaugh ain't going to be fucking bending any knee anytime soon. He wants one himself. So it's going to be, I love the action in this one specifically. I don't particularly like Lad McConkey. I do think they want to run the ball, and they did have they paid their left tackle, I forget his name, highest paid tackle in the league, and he is out for the year with a Achilles, I think, or something. So they lost their left tackle. Luckily, they have an absolutely stud, Joe Alt, who is the 2023 first round pick, I believe, or 2024. Monster of a man. So they're a little thinner at O-line. It's crazy how thick they were. They had depth to move a guy over and not lose too much. But now if another guy goes down, if you're in like week 4 and you start seeing things about the Chargers offensive line, then you might want to start getting a little worried about that. But as of right now, their O-line is steady, and I think they're going to run the absolute dog shit out of the ball. And I'm drafting your boy Amarian Hampton in the 4th round when it comes back. See, because it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I get that 4th pick before you get your 4th round pick. So I'm gonna pick your boy right then and there, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm gonna have my box by then. You can have them.
I can feel it down in my plums.
That's my plums.
I also think, looking at this division, the Chiefs, like you said, the downfall is it's got to come. Last year, I think they were 15-2. They were the worst 15-2 team in the history of the NFL.
100%.
They easily could have been 5-12.
Yeah.
That's how many of their games went. Barely them pulling it off, or a bad call, or this and that. I wouldn't be surprised if they're 11-6 this year at best.
Well, that does it for the Hoist the Colors segment of the off season. It was a long, arduous journey across the seas, but Cram, we fucking did it, bud.
Yo, all hands, hoist the colors high.
What? I'm relieved, honestly. Now I can actually start doing some real investigative work. But no, this was good practice. It gets me into and gets me plugged in, so I can make quick decisions on waivers and just trades and all that shit during the year. So good to get the backbone with you, bud.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll meet again for. Are we gonna do? You want to do like a pod before the start of the season, just to go over like league stuff or anything like that?
Yeah, we should. There's plenty to. We have time next weekend. I'll be with Beal, so maybe we get the Oracle on for another hot take segment with
Looks like an oracle. I see
the winner
all that
of the
has been,
2023-2024. No, 2024-2025. Britton Beal. I'll try and get the champion on.
Could be,
So.
Could be like the Champions Dinner at the Masters. We see what he
Exactly,
wants.
yeah.
He can a message to the league going into the new year. He can kick off the new year with a message to everyone.
I dig it, man. I dig it. But cheers,
and then and we can talk about. Do you have written down who's losing Fab? I know you are.
me and Radcliffe are losing 100 Fab each.
It was just the two of you.
Yeah, it was just the two of
Landon,
us that
Landon
colluded.
got out of it squeaky clean.
What's that?
Landon got out of it squeaky clean. Wasn't he the one who
He did get out of it squeaky clean. He's the one that broke the
brought it to
story.
light?
Yeah, he went to TMZ. That fucking needle dick.
Needle dick! Needle dick!
Fuck
Oh
that guy.
shit!
But yeah,
All right, well, good shit.
let's sign off for today, and we'll meet back with you guys. Thanks for another episode of the WTAFP podcast, and we'll check in on you on the next one. Cheers.